Hi everyone. I thought I'd do a quick video today about putting in a rear seat release on my 2018 Ford F250 4x4 Lariat Edition. The back seat on the passenger driver's side does not come down. For various reasons, Ford does not make it easily accessible, but they do sell kits in order to drop the rear seat. Here's the kit right here. It's composed of this bracket and this piece right here that has the pull on it. I've seen different videos on it. They've all been slightly different. They all had some good things, had some bad things. Hopefully I've taken a collection of the better things and going to be able to put them together for you. One of the things I think you need is a standard box wrench. Pretty much size to a point, doesn't matter. Torques. I've got two different styles here. One that fits in a handle like this. I've got another one that fits in a 3-inch socket. These are T30s. Now, in the Ford, and hopefully you can see it here, this back seat does not come down at all, unlike the other side, which I'll go around and show you. Over here they put in a nice little release that you can pull and the seat comes down. Gives you access to your jack and a little bit of storage space back there. The other side doesn't give you a lot of space, but in case you want to get back there and put something down, you need to be able to release that other side of the seat. And again, Ford does not make that too easy, but I'm going to try to get in and show you what I can to show you how to get this thing done. So, before we get started here, one of the things that I think you need to do is remove the headrest. So, I don't know if I can do it one-handed. Probably not. So I took the headrest off, and then if you'll see, you can't really easily get down into the back of the seat back here because it's tight up against this back section. When you lift the seat, that back section comes up and moves out a little bit. And back here is where the latch is. Right down. Let's see if we can see it. You can just see the edge of it down there. This piece here is not a release for anything. It's just a strap, tie-on strap. So we need to be able to get down into the back, and this is where the open end wrench comes in. And I'll end up getting this down there. I've got to hook something. I'll explain that to you in just a second in the video here, once I get this thing opened up to where we can get at it. Okay, I've just released the back, and as you'll see, comes down. There is an actual latch there, and there's the piece that it mates against. Now this piece right here slides up and down, and that slides up and down because, as you remember, when I lifted the seat, the back of the seat actually came up and came out a little bit. So if you don't move that, you won't have a problem putting this back on. The kit is going to go against here. So we'll try the Torx T30 and see if we can remove this piece. And I had pre-loosened these a little bit to make it easier to get out. Which is what I'm going to do here. And then I'll be able to further explain to you what's going on with this kit and the difficulties and everything else of putting this together. So again, there are only 2 screws in here, and they're Torx T30. So I get that out right down here. I'm gonna have to get a cameraman next time. Now if you notice, right here there's a little piece that hooks in on the base. So you got to sort of pull up and out. If you take a look at that, you'll see how it's shaped. So that hooks in and comes out. Now, the piece that makes this very difficult to get out is releasing this latch. First off, there's very little room behind the seat when you're trying to reach your arm down there. And what you got to actually do is pull this lever up. Doing it by just straight fingers alone is very difficult. You can reach down in there and feel it, but to be able to pull it is, all I can say is you're very lucky or got very strong fingers if you're able to do it. So again, what I did, now this thing's sitting in the vehicle in that configuration. So when the seat comes up, it goes and latches against here, click. So this thing is going to be like that, and we've got to get to that little lever there that my finger's just above. What makes that more accessible is if you use this open end wrench. Reach down in, you can feel it with your finger, grab it with the wrench, and then you can pull it up and it'll open it back up. So again, the wrench is very, very helpful. I'd be interested to see how many people have been able to open the back of this without the use of the wrench. So anyways, the kit now is actually going to go right like this, and in here, let me see if I can get into a little bit better lighting position, because there's terrible glare here. Okay, so I thought for this section I'd bring this piece into the garage. Again, that was bolted on to the back of the seat. And again, I was talking about having to grab it with the wrench to open this up. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. When it closes, it's in this position. And to try to sit here and pull this thing up with your finger is next to impossible. I'm here and I can get my finger on it sideways and put a lot more leverage, but when you do get that to pull up, it opens up that latch. So we've got this component here that, again, both eBay and Amazon all sell this unit. So what you got to do is thread this through here like that and get this ready to hook on. This piece here slides underneath here on top of this bracket. And before you get this in too far, take a look at the piece that I'm going to hook onto there. That's just going to go on there like that. Finish sliding it back. And now that piece is locked in position. And when you do close the back and this is bolted down, you now have this that you can grab, and that will actually allow it to pull up and release. So again, let me show you real quick. It's going to be like this. It's going to come apart. You're going to want to slide it on in here. Hook that piece into there. Just put your finger over it. And then slide the rest of the unit back. Now again, that's going to be held in place once it's bolted down. So it's also very important that if you see these are slotted through here somewhat, it allows you to tighten up that thing or loosen it depending on your certain situation. You should basically pull it over as far as you can, and now that won't come off. That's up against that little tab. So now we'll go back to the truck and put this in place. Hopefully I can hold the camera well enough to show you. Okay, as you can see, we're back out at the truck. Let me see if I can get a little bit better view for you here. Again, this thing, you're going to have to slide everything in position. Don't forget that little hook piece on the bottom when you're putting this back in. So it'll become apparent when you're in the right spot. And there it is. When it's in the right spot, it won't pull up on its own. So now I'll just get the first torque screw in. Again, these are T30s. I'll put the second one in place. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing in. Trying to do everything one-handed is next to impossible, but I'm going to try. Okay, so I'm just going to tighten these down a little bit. I'm not going to tighten them down too much. Just enough so that I can still make sure everything is in place and snug. So again, I don't know if you can see that, but let me get a better view for you here. Before I tighten it down, see how I'm making sure that all the slop is gone out of there. I want this piece to get as close to there as possible. So this is in and it's pushed towards the back. I'm going to snug this down a little bit more. And again, I really apologize for all the shaking and everything else. This is a little difficult doing it on your own. I now understand why people have other folks videotape for them. Okay. So now we have this available up there. Again, one of the things you've got to make sure before you put this back together is make sure it's not already in the closed position. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it there. There we go. If it was already closed, it would be in that position, and when you tried to close it, it just wouldn't work. And you'd say, what the heck's going on here? So again, make sure it's open. The other thing you need to make sure is that you did not move that bar up or down. If you did, then you've got to try to find the right spot, because it'll go up a little bit higher, and it'll certainly go down, oh, at least 2 inches. So again, what's back here is, again, very little room, but in case you need to get back into here to get to anything, it's available to you. Again, it's got it looks like a preamplifier, woofer speaker in the back. Who knows? Who knows? I guess Ford just doesn't want people getting back in here screwing any of this stuff up. But now, as I start lifting the seat, again, I'm going to do it like this. And it's held back in position. Things are tight. Now, here's that lever. Again, that's about the only thing that's sticking up there that you have access to. So if I have this, I can pull and the seat comes down. I didn't, as you notice, I didn't have to lift the base seat in order to make that happen. That's in, it's locked. If you see this, you see that the seat does come up and move away. But you no longer need to do that in order to drop the back seat. Again, very easy, gives you full access to the back in case you need it. Well, I'd love to hear any comments, questions, any other things people might have about this. I'm always looking to improve these things. Again, you don't need to tell me I need somebody else to hold the camera, but it was the best I could do. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.